Welcome to Aristoy Garage, the home of the 1970 Mustang Fastback restoration project. We had welding done yesterday. We're progressing very nicely with the restoration of this car. In particular was the installation of the Sanco shock tower reinforcement plates. As you can see, the plates were welded in. This is the driver's side around the entire perimeter. Let's see if we can see underneath along the frame. But it was very well done. You put a good bead around the entire perimeter of the Sanco reinforcement plate. And on the passenger side, the Sanco plate actually fitted better because the shock tower was brand new and there wasn't stress on it for all those years, causing it to distort. But again, he welded the entire perimeter. These plates are very much welded into place. That should give added strength and performance to the car. There's the new cowl that was installed a few weeks ago with the apron, inner apron extensions. They're not fender extensions, they're inner apron extensions that weld to the cowl. And the tricky point here with the cowl was where the slide down for the windshield connects to the cowl, and it would go very much like this, and it would fit in very well, I believe. As you can see, he welded these weld points here, and he also welded the corner of the cowl to the A-pillar of the car. We're gonna have to have him do that on the driver's side next time. But if we look in with the brand new floor pan that was installed, we finally had the seat pedestals welded in. I had fitted the pedestals and contoured the metal for the seat pedestals so it would fit perfectly. And I ground down the original paint from the reproduction floor pan. And you can see he did a wonderful job with that. All these weld points here, like so. In the corner, he welded that, and to the rocker panel, it was very much welded in. Now, the same thing with the Sanco plates and the shock towers. I'm going to prime them and put paint, either the self-etching primer or a rust reformer paint, something heavy. That's what I'll use here on the seat pedestals. Let me show you the other side. There's the cowl, the apron extensions. There's the vent cowls. They were in good condition, thank God. But on this side you can see where the metal was bared, so that the paint with the reproduction floor pan would not contaminate the welds. And he was actually able to form very well the flanges for the seat pedestals. Again, this is the driver's side now. I drilled the holes for plug welds, but for these outside flange areas that extend the length of the seat pedestal, he did skip welds. Welded a point here for an inch here, an inch. But it's very well welded into place. It's very secure. Now with these seat pedestals, there are 4 holes. Now these 4 holes had to be lined up with holes in the floor pan that allows access to a ratchet wrench for the bolts that would come up out of here and connect to the seats of the car, the front seats, both the passenger and the driver's side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put something heavy on here. I'll put a primer where I bared the metal, and then I'll put the Harbor Freight truck bedding coating on there. That's what I did on the underside of the seat pedestal, and I painted the part of the floor pan that would be covered by the seat pedestal with a heavy coating of thick rust reformer. This way the seat pedestals will not rust out. I've seen on videos on YouTube where they were doing restoration on a Mustang similar to this, and in the process of disconnecting the seat from up underneath through the holes, access holes in the floor pan, and rust just fell out. And they had a bigger project after that, realizing that the seat pedestal was rusted, the floor pan was rusted, even parts of the original seats were rusted. So we're going to try to avoid that at all costs. Now, one of the techniques that the welder used was to put these self-tapping screws in that pull the seat pedestal flush with the floor pan. And he has to remove these and then fill in the holes in the seat pedestal. We've had significant welding done yesterday. The camera is indicating that it's in need of charge right now, so I'll try to make this quick. The both driver and passenger side lower patch panels for the quarter panels were needed, and they needed to be installed perfectly to follow the act of the original car. That's how it fitted. And you can see how structurally strong this must be. That's the passenger side. So he was following the correct contour of the original design of the lower portion of the quarter panel. And in here I had to fabricate metal that he also welded inside the wheel well. This would represent the outer wheel housing towards the back of the car. And he welded that very securely into place, especially on the bottom. Worried about water or rust or dirt and from the road getting in there. That might cause rot to happen. Of course, I painted this piece of panel that I fabricated both on the inside and the outside and the back side. And let me show you the inside of the wells. First we have this where the patch panel connects to the tail panel of the car. He welded it very nicely, so it follows the correct pattern that's part of the original Ford design. And he did a very good job with that. Now it's all part of the chassis now. These unibodies. I don't know if there's enough lighting. Let me get the light. Hold on.